Hi there, welcome to Camping Secrets. I'm Marky Mark. I'm filming from home today. It's really cold outside and I've got a new solar panel to look at. It's the Flexsolar C100 folding solar panel. So 100 watts max power possible. And it's a very similar solar panel in principle to the benchmark, I consider the benchmark for 100 watt panels, which is the Jackery SolarSaga 100. Really great panel. This Flexsolar seems to be a direct competitor to the SolarSaga. It's a bit cheaper, maybe 20% cheaper. The SolarSaga at the moment is £279 and the Flexsolar is about £235 in the UK. So fairly considerable saving. Solar power is just getting more and more important. We've got the fuel crisis, the war in Ukraine. All our bills are just rocketing at the moment, and even though the government's helping out, anything we can do to recover or generate energy ourselves in a clean way has got to be good for both the environment and our pockets. So I love the principle of solar energy, and especially combining a solar panel with a battery pack, a power station. Now, I've reviewed lots of power stations on this channel, and my main concern in the UK with solar generation is that the sun very rarely shines brightly. Yes, we get daylight, but we're not getting searing sunlight. You need direct sunlight for electricity to be efficiently generated. So it's very difficult to get the nameplate capacity, say 100 watts in this instance, unless there's direct sunlight. So in the UK, when it's cloudy or if it's raining, drizzle, you're not going to get 100 watts. You might get 20 watts if you're lucky, and 20 watts isn't going to charge much. You know, you can't live off 20 watts. It might power a phone or charge a phone up, or small appliances, but you're not going to be able to run the big appliances or even charge a laptop. So let's get this unboxed and see what we get and whether it can compete with the Jackery solar panel. Let's dig into this. Okay, let's unbox the Flexsolar C100. This is my first time of looking at it, so I'm not sure what to expect, to be honest. Open it up. I must say I've been sent this solar panel by Flexsolar, and I am giving an unbiased opinion on this. It's not colouring my judgment at all. They haven't had any input on what I should say, and I can be totally honest. So first off, let's look at this in comparison with the Jackery. You can see already that it's about the same length. So this is about 70 centimeters, so this is about 70 centimeters. But in terms of width, the Flexsolar is much, much wider. So it's a bigger panel for the same amount of power as the Jackery. So I'll put on the screen the dimensions, both folded and unfolded, but I think they're both about 124 centimeters wide, and when folded around 65, 60 up to 70 centimeters. That's nice polyester rugged construction here. We've got the legs on the back, so it looks like they can only allow a single angle. God. A little bag of goodies on the back. It's sort of a very similar design actually. So you've got the magnetic clasps here. So when you shut the panel, it doesn't seem that strong a magnetic. So there is a magnet, but it's not really holding it. Whereas I think the Jackery is a stronger magnet. Look. Much stronger with the Jackery. Let's see what we get in the back of the pack. Okay, so we have like a USB output. That's a female USB. I'm guessing loads of connector types here, a wide range, 8mm.
Which contact? The General or Alex the Dunn?
That was Alexa cutting in. Alexa, shut up. So in terms of the outputs on the C100, you have a USB female socket here, which can then plug in a cable to your devices for charging. So that's basic USB 2.0. You also have a USB-A 3.0 for higher current, higher power. There's a Type-C 60-watt PD output. So 60 watts is nice. Modern laptops use USB-C. So if you're generating 100 watts in full sunlight, you can basically plug that directly into your laptop and charge directly from the panel. Nice touch. And then finally, there's a DC output. So you get a 3-meter cable here, and this then plugs into that DC output socket, and 5521 connector type. Let's undo this. So this simply plugs in here. Then you can open the panel, undo the legs, get it angled up to the sun, and then this can plug into your power pack and charge it up if you desire. But as I say, you can run devices directly off the panel. And actually the range of outputs here is superior than the Jackery, which has a similar sort of output, but it doesn't have the 60-watt USB-C. It has a USB-A and a lower power USB-C. So that's one advantage of the Flexsolar there. In terms of weight, this is around 5 kilograms, 5.1 kilograms. And you know, similar weight to the Jackery, I'd say. But I am struck that Jackery can get 100 watts out of a smaller size, smaller surface area. So I do think the Jackery is probably more efficient than the Flexsolar for the same amount of sunlight. In terms of output voltage, this can do 19 volts maximum and maximum current of 5 amps. It is IP65, so that's a very sort of low level water resistant. So it will survive sprinkling with drizzle, but not high pressure. The 5 there indicates, you know, moderately water resistant. Obviously the 6 in 65 means it's totally resistant to dust getting into the actual electronics. So that's good to know. But like any solar power, like any solar folding portable solar panel, you want to watch keeping it out in real UK bad weather. But a little bit of drizzle shouldn't hurt it. So what else do we get in the pack? We get some crocodile clips. So I guess this is if you want to just connect your panel directly to a battery or something like that. And I guess the cable just plugs into that. And then these just clip on where you need to add your current. And then you'll also get a range of other connectors. So these range from sort of 8mm down to like tiny 2mm connectors. So it's nice having that choice there, but there's no XT60 connector, so this isn't going to connect into my EcoFlow power stations without a specific converter cable. But you know, this should connect to the Jackery and also the Bluetti power stations very easily with these connectors. So let's take it outside, and it's a very cloudy, overcast day in December, but I'm hoping I can see some flicker of electricity generation. And if not, I'll wait for a sunny day and try and get something going. As I said, it's a winter's day in the UK. Got sort of frost and snow on the ground, not a lot of direct sunlight. The sky is pretty cloudy and overcast. So it's not ideal for solar power generation. So I'll give the Flexsolar C100 a go. Let's undo it. So as I said before, you've got these legs, Velcro legs on the back. I can't see an easy way of adjusting the angle. The instructions say it can adjust between 40 and 30 degrees, but to me it looks fixed at that sort of angle. So let's see if we're getting enough power to charge up my phone here. Standard USB-C into the phone, and then I'm going to use the USB-A connector on the back of the C100 and see if I get some charge. Well, the red light's on, so something is happening. Let's plug this in. Oh God. Now you've got to be careful not to get water on your connectors. I always find solar panels a bit of a rigmarole with the legs and getting the angles. So definitely charging. So I'm just plugging directly here with this cable into the USB-C. So that's pretty impressive. Now Flexsolar do offer a 2-year warranty on the C100, and that really does give peace of mind, and I applaud them for doing so. But in my experience, these solar panels are pretty robust. I've never had a problem with any of my folding panels, and I've had maybe 10 different varieties over the years, and they all still work. Flexsolar say the C100 is 24% efficient, and that's up at the higher range of solar panel efficiencies. So it does bring me back to that question: why is the panel so much bigger for 100 watts than the SolarSaga? And I can't really answer that. Perhaps it generates more than 100 in bright sunlight, so that would be something to check, but it's not going to happen today with this limited amount of sunshine. Anyway, at least it's charging my phone. But how much power is the C100 generating? It's enough to put a little bit of charge in my phone, but is it anywhere near the 100 watts? So as I said, this is daylight, but it's not direct sunlight on the panel. So you might think that it would be generating a decent amount, but my guess is that it's below 5 watts. So I'm going to get my Jackery 2000 Pro battery pack. And then plug it into the C100, or plug the C100 into the Jackery, and see if we can detect any power. So plug that into the back. So I'm using one of the adapters from the C100 pack, and then plug in the connector. And actually you can change the angle, I've just seen. So you can either have the legs vertically for a steeper angle, or if you want to get the panel more vertical, you can change the angle of the legs. So here we got pretty much vertical legs, which means the panel is quite upright. If we then move the legs back, the panel then goes in a more sort of horizontal angle. So yeah, I agree that you can change the angle of the panel. So let's now look on the front of the Jackery, and it's not registering any power at all. So as I say, in the UK, and this is a fairly typical day, especially in autumn and winter, you know, occasionally get bursts of bright sunshine, and that's when the panel will work well. But from day to day, you're not going to get anywhere near 100 watts. And this is why solar generation in the UK
is a hit or miss affair. You cannot rely on it. And that's why, you know, the government are looking for nuclear power, which is guaranteed. You know, wind and solar are great in principle, but they don't really work 24/7, unfortunately. So, sorry, I can't demonstrate the C100 at this time of year to its full capacity. I'll have to come back when the sun starts shining and finish off this review. So consider this like an hors d'oeuvre, and we'll get the main course next spring. But in summary, I do think the panel is quite well made. It's a direct competitor to the Jackery SolarSaga 100. It's a bit bigger, weighs about the same. The magnetic clasp isn't quite as rugged, but there's some really good features on this panel. I like how the legs can change the angle, which I've discovered. I like the range of adapters that you get for fitting to any sort of battery pack. Apart from the XT60 or MC4 connectors, they don't come. But for a DC connection, you've got a wide range. That's nice. And then on the panel itself, I really like the outputs at the back. The 60-watt USB-C PD, the USB 3.0 and the USB 2.0. Really nice, and that is superior to the Jackery. So all in all, for a cheaper price than the SolarSaga, it's definitely worth considering in my view, as long as it can give the 100 watts. And that's the bit I can't demonstrate today. Yeah, so watch this space, I'll come back. But if you want to buy the C100, I'll put a link down below. I'm pleased I've got it, certainly as a backup, but bring on the sunshine. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've been Marky Mark and this is Camping Secrets. Bye for now.